New reporting indicates that private insurers and employers are concerned about a sharp increase in healthcare insurance premiums next year in response to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. And they would like Congress to step in and do something about it because they are likely to pass over the cost to their employees. And it's going to cost quite a bit. So companies are actually asking Congress to fund a program in future coronavirus bills that would help insurers and other employers with the high cost of claims associated with the pandemic. Let me just note that while Congress ensured that testing for coronavirus is free, it's still not free to be treated for coronavirus. And these costs are starting to really pile up. So one analysis estimates insurers and employers could face $34 billion to $251 billion in costs related to COVID-19 testing, treatment, and care. The analysis commissioned by Covered California, the state's insurance marketplace, said premiums for private plans could increase as much as 40% next year from COVID-19 costs alone, depending on how many Americans need testing and treatment. An easy way to skirt a problem like this would be to have a healthcare system like Medicare for all, but we squandered that opportunity, so now we're in this position.
Okay, I'm going to say something that will be misinterpreted, so I'm giving you ahead of time a warning that I'm not encouraging this. I don't want this to happen. In fact, I'm desperate for it to not happen. But we're going to have riots in the streets. You can't increase people's healthcare premiums 40% and have them still afford it. They can't afford it. They can't afford it. There's a story today that's going viral of a hospital worker, a nurse, that exposed wrongdoing at the hospital. They were not sufficiently protecting the doctors and nurses with protective equipment. So they fired him. But the problem is, other than being fired in a horribly wrong way, his wife's got cancer. So now they don't have health insurance anymore. So his wife's going to die. People are going to riot. I mean, this is insanity. How many times can we tell people, oh, yeah, we're going to kill you? Well, we don't care. Your wife's got cancer. Go die. I don't care. You couldn't afford the 40% premium. Oh, you didn't have the right job. You were in between jobs. I don't care. Go die. Well, then they're going to say, hey, you know what? I don't care about you either. Okay. And so this is going to get super ugly. I'm not telling you that because I'm looking forward to it. I'm telling you that because I'm trying to avoid it. The way to avoid it is Medicare for all, so we don't let people die in the streets. But nope, they're going to brutalize us more. And then, oh, yeah, it's free testing. Free my ass. It's not free if we have to pay for it next year with a 40% premium. And free treatment, they put out that mythology every once in a while. There ain't no free treatment. And since there's no free treatment, what are you going to increase our premiums 40% because you gave us free testing? Nah, this oppression of the private insurance industry is grotesque. And by the way, the lies of the mainstream media are unbearable. Do you know that if people found out, not only there's a huge percentage of the country, well over 50% in every poll want Medicare for all, not only do 60 to 70 to 80% of Democratic voters want Medicare for all, but when people find out that Medicare for all does not take away your provider, it only replaces your insurance, but you can still go to any doctor or hospital. 62% of the people who are opposed then flip and are in favor of it. The country is desperate for Medicare for all, but the mainstream media will tell you nonstop lies about how people don't want it and how it's unpopular.
Yeah. And we really have no real options when it comes to voicing how we feel in the general election, because on one hand, you have Donald Trump, who has no interest in helping the average American. On the other hand, you have Joe Biden, who said he would literally veto a Medicare for all bill that makes it past Congress. He would veto it. So this is all happening, by the way, at a time when healthcare costs were already rising to a point where, of course, millions of Americans couldn't even afford healthcare. For instance, out-of-pocket costs, including premiums and deductibles, have outpaced inflation and increases in wages for several years now. An analysis by the Kaiser Family Foundation found employer plans in 2018 paid an average of $20,292 for hospital admissions of patients with serious pneumonia, which of course is an illness that has some similarities to coronavirus. No, this is out of control. This is outrageous. And the system is broken. But anytime anyone tries to change it, fix it, offer a better plan, a better solution, They have no voice. And it's because of the issue that you bring up all the time, Cenk. It's money in politics. The private industry has way more of a say than the average American.
And the media oppresses us all. Look, man, the quicker we replace them, the better off this entire country is going to be. TYT.com/go. Make us stronger so we can actually bring truth to people. They won't even report the polling accurately. They're unbelievable liars. And next year, when they crush you again and raise your rates sky high again, they'll tell you, oh, people love their private insurance. Total ridiculous, false alternate reality. Finally, to your point about Biden, they say, oh, eventually we want universal health care, us corporate Democrats. And then he says, no, just kidding, I'll veto it. And then they demand that we not only vote for Biden, but that we be excited about it. Hey, make sure your audience has pom-poms on when they vote for Biden. Really? When you get that premium increase, you're not going to be excited.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.